So we got Coach Billy Turnage here from Holy Cross High School. Man, I gotta get used to saying that. Sitting down with us on Rip and Go, man. Bill, how you doing today, boss?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me.
Man, appreciate you sitting with us, man. So for those that don't know, Billy Turnage, legendary high school basketball coach in New York City, has been on the sidelines for about 2 decades, man, and is continue to going strong, man. And we gonna sit down and get a I guess you could say a little docu-series on Bill today, man. So Bill, where were you born and raised, Coach?
I was born and raised in Queens.
Got you. What section in Queens?
St. Albans.
Okay. And what was that area like during your childhood and coming up?
I mean, I was born in the quote unquote crack epidemic era. So it was rough. I would ride a train with my friends from the local neighborhood. We go borough to borough, park to park. We'd hoop out. But I mean, typical inner city stuff. Wasn't nothing crazy. My pops didn't. My mother and father wasn't going to allow me to be crazy anyway.
Yes, sir. You mentioned your mother and father. You came up in a 2-parent household.
My parents were separated. But I was in between both households. I was staying at my mom's. I stayed at my pops as well.
Got you. So, what would you say were some of the differences you noticed? I guess in your upbringing, having a father involved versus say many of our peers, especially in the 80s, just didn't have their father involved. So,
I think it was important for me, being a young black man in the neighborhood that I was growing up in, because there were so many different directions that I could have gone other than what the path that I chose, or the path that was, put in front of me. Mm-hmm. My dad wasn't. He wasn't a guy that put your hands on you, but he had that stern look. Like he give you that look, and that was enough to bring you to tears. So for me, it was all right. You know what? I got friends doing A, B, and C. For me, I'm gonna do D because I know I gotta go home and look at this man and answer and deal with him. But also, as I got older and once I picked up hoops, I knew what I wanted to do. So I knew I had to take care of my academics, and I knew that I needed to do certain things to be able to play ball.
Yes, sir. How did you get introduced to the game of basketball?
So my mom moved to Brooklyn. I didn't want to move to Brooklyn. So I went to go live with my dad at about the age of 11 or 12, I believe. Mm-hmm. And that's when I moved to the other side of Queens, known as the North Side, O'Connell Park area. So O'Connell Park, most people know, is OCP, major park. Like we had, like everybody would be in there. Boo Harvey, Mark Jackson, Shelton Jones. Like it was a place called the Cage. Like as a kid, you had to sit on the bricks. They wasn't letting you play. Yeah. So you had to, wait your turn, and then once you got your turn, you had to show them that you deserved to play. And then we also had St. Pascal's and the PAL Center down the block, which was open 7 days a week for the most part. So I just, once I moved with my dad, I started hooping 7 days a week, all day, every day. Got
you. So around that age where you didn't want to move to BK with Mom Dukes, that's when you got introduced to the game.
Yep.
What other sports did you play as a child, if you played any other sports as a
child? Baseball, but I sucked. I was horrible at baseball. I think I played like 3 years of Little League and never got a hit. I kid you not. My grandfather, was an umpire at the time. He'd be calling me out on strikes because I was scared of the ball. I wouldn't talk to him for like a week because he called me out on the strike.
Got you.
I learned very quickly that baseball was not my sport.
Got you. So once you picked up basketball, it was pretty much your favorite.
Yeah, that was it. If I wasn't playing it, I was watching it.
Got you. Who were some of your coaches as a youth that helped you understand the game when you started picking it up?
Oh man, so at St. Pascal's, my first coach was Coach Bruce. But St. Pascal's was a dominant CYO program. So we had a lot of great coaches in there who was hands-on with the kids, a lot of development, intense practices, demanded the most from us. So Coach Bruce, Coach Sandy, Coach John, Coach Bob Dawson, who I played summer ball with. Those are guys that really instilled a work ethic into me to if this is what I want to do, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Shout outs to those gentlemen. And you mentioned some of your favorite parks growing up. Were there any other some of your favorite spots to hoop at when you were coming up as a youth?
Like I said, O'Connell Park provided a lot of competition. Everybody from all sides of Queens would come to O'Connell Park. But we would get on our bikes. it would be me, Dwayne Woodward, who's coaches at Rhode Island right now, Reggie Jackson, Paul Ruddick. We'd hop on our bikes and we're going from OCP to 147, 134, 15 Park, St. Albans Park. Like we're just hopping on our bikes and we're riding. We're looking for run. That's it.
Got you. And that's pretty much how y'all went about like ironing out your game and whatnot.
Absolutely, because you know, first of all, if you're from another part of Queens and you go to that part of Queens, they look at you like, all right, well, we about to bust your butt.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not happening.
Got you, man. So what middle school did you attend and where you was honing your game at from, like, you said you picked it up around 11, so from 11 to 14, what middle school were you?
Junior high school 238, known as Susan B. Anthony's on Hillside Avenue in Queens. I went there, and like I said, there was talent in there. So I started there in 6th grade.
Who were some of the other players in there when you say there was talent in there? Who's
Andre Ulrich, who went to Holy Cross and then went to Pitt. They call him Big East. Shaheen Holloway, head coach at Seton Hall. Deshaun Holloway, his brother. Man, I'm missing a few guys. We had a Steve McDaniel who played at Andrew Jackson. Man, there's a lot of guys in there. We used to have wars with another middle school known as 192. They had all the talent as well. Got
you, man. And this was during your era, like not prior or after. This is as you're going to school there.
As I'm going to school there, yeah.
Tough. What high school did you end up attending coming out of middle school?
So I went to Holy Cross for 3 years. Then unfortunately my grandmother passed away and we couldn't afford the tuition. You know, my grandmother was really taking the claim of tuition. So my senior year, I transferred to Andrew Jackson, and you know what? I think I love Holy Cross, to be honest with you. They treated me well. I have nothing bad to say about Holy Cross, but transferring to Andrew Jackson and playing for Coach Granby opened up my eyes as a young black man to another aspect.
And why do you say that? Like, what did Coach Granby open you up to?
The world as a young black man. How we need to act, how we need to behave, how we need to move, how we need to speak. He treated us all like his son. You know, he raised us as such, and you know the things that he instilled in us. From, you know, he had these crazy sayings, and you know anybody that's played for Jackson can rattle off a ton of coaches' sayings to this day. And I mean, it's things that stuck with you. You know, he, like I said, he raised you like you were his own.
You feel as if many of his lessons still stick with you today as a
absolutely,
man?
Absolutely.
Got you, man. So let's go back to your freshman year at Holy Cross. What level did you play and how did that season go when you were a freshman entering high school?
Sheesh, how did that season go? Reckon what you told me many moons ago. I don't remember, but I can tell you that experience for me was an eye opener. During that time, freshmen didn't play varsity basketball.
Right. Talk about it.
You didn't. That wasn't even an option.
Yeah.
You know, everybody played freshman basketball. I don't care who you were, and when you would go to the freshman league, like people would pack the freshman games because they would see the future of the CHSAA.
Right.
You know, you went from freshman to varsity.
Right.
I want to say we were probably 500. I remember I think we got destroyed by St. Ray's, ironically, in the playoffs of the freshmen. But what the Talent Time? Might have been Talent Time. Yeah, it was Talent Time because no, that was JV. Whatever, man. Many moves ago.
Okay, got you.